Alright. What is going on, guys? I'm excited to bring you this video because Age of Imprisonment Hyrule Warriors has released today, November 6, 2025, and this game is absolutely world class. It is world class. This is a fantastic game, and I'm absolutely delighted with what the team at Koume has done, what the writers at Nintendo have done. Now, I do want to say that I do not own this game. I don't even own a Switch 2. I haven't played this game. The only reason I know what's happened in this game is because of the fantastic YouTubers such as Shirako, Profasia Gaming, Bade Bear, Sirloin, and all the rest of them who have taken the time out of their day to upload that 9-hour video in which you can watch all the fights and all the cutscenes back to back. So shout out to them, man. And yeah, you know what, if there was ever a game that made me want to get a Switch 2, it would definitely be this one so far. So without further ado, actually no, one more ado, this video is going to contain spoilers, many spoilers. Like, we're going to go into everything. No stone will be left unturned, right? So now, without further ado, let's get into it. So with this review, I will mostly be getting into what the game did right, because this game did a lot right, especially in comparison to its predecessor, Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. This game, you can tell they listened to what the fans said about Age of Calamity. Like, you can really see it. So let's get into the first great part of this game, and that is the story beats. The story beats in this are absolutely fantastic. The introduction of the mysterious construct is brilliant. It's truly brilliant, and it makes sense. It's not retconned, it's not a plot hole, it's not over convoluted. All it is a piece of the Master Sword, specifically the one that cut Ganondorf, which makes it even more beautiful. It falls down with Zelda as she's falling into the depths, and then she gets transported into the ancient timeline in which she now resides in. That makes a lot of sense. And that shard of the Master Sword becomes personified. Now, I've seen a lot of debate online as it pertains to this topic as to who this mysterious construct actually is. Is it a new reincarnation of Link? Is it Fi in the flesh turned male? What is it? And I will put my 2 cents in here, and I will say that this being, this mysterious construct, is the personification of the Master Sword. It's the Master Sword become flesh. Essentially, it is the will of the Master Sword now having the freedom and autonomy to operate on its own. Of course, Fi still resides within the Master Sword, but this is almost like a Trinitarian story beat in a way. Kind of like how God became flesh, Sword has become man. So yeah, the Master Sword, I guess we can look at it as its own entity now. It's not merely just a blade of steel that houses Fi and Demise too. It really is its own, maybe not living being, but a vessel or an entity with its own will, you know? The 3 goddesses must have created the Master Sword with that, you know, in mind, that this is a being almost. Fi is not simply the sword, she's within the sword, but the sword itself has a will and mind of its own. And I think that that is a truly fantastic thing that they implemented into this game and into the lore, if we're going to be honest here, because Age of Imprisonment is canon. I mean, let's get that out of the way. Age of Calamity, no, that's not canon, but Age of Imprisonment is clearly canon. Every single story beat is aligned with the actual story of Tears of the Kingdom. So yeah, we can say that. And the Master Sword is, yeah, it has its own will. Brilliant. I love that. And of course, the Master Sword having its own will and now having its own autonomy would create a version of itself that is, I guess we would say, is reminded of by its former users, you know, all the former links, particularly the Breath of the Wild link, the era of the wild. So it made itself look like that, behaved like that, and wow, it's just cool. It was great to see. And it also, to me, gave a lot of resemblance to the concept art for Link before Breath of the Wild, and I will be putting that up on screen now. It's that image of Link with the half-broken Master Sword, kind of looking like a Shikatech robot type thing. And I'm 100% sure that they took great inspiration from that design there to create this mysterious construct. The only thing I wish is that the mysterious construct did actually get a name. It never did get a name. Would have loved if it just got some name, you know, some little weird name, maybe like, I don't know, Sheriko, bro. I don't know, but yeah, I think it was absolutely fantastic. So yeah, there's that. And now another story beat that I want to speak to, which makes me so delighted, is about the theme. Okay, this game story and theme and whatnot felt like what Tears of the Kingdom was supposed to be. Now, if you remember, when Tears of the Kingdom first released, there was an interview from, I cannot remember the name. It's not Koizumi. Aonuma, that's it. Aonuma had an interview. Or was it Fujibayashi? I think it was Fujibayashi. So Fujibayashi had an interview saying, you know, what is the actual theme of the game for Tears of the Kingdom? And he said at the time that it was hands, right? That's why Link has his hand. That's why they always bump fists with the new champions, you know, Yunobo and Co. That's why they always shake hands. It's because the theme of the game was about hands, right? I mean, excuse me, it was about, well, yes, hands, but hands obviously meaning, you know, cooperation, gathering, coming together as one people, you know, for a greater good. But since that game was pretty much Breath of the Wild again, I mean, let's be honest here, we can talk about that for another day. Yes, I'm a skitty bitty fan. Since it was that, you know, you're mostly alone throughout the game, and let's be real here, man. Those spirits, nah, bro, that's not no company. Come on. But in Age of Imprisonment here, it is so clear that this is a coming together of the nation against a greater good. And it almost makes me think, like, is this what Tears of the Kingdom should have done? Should Link have gone back into the past? But that's another topic for another day. But like I was saying, you can really see the theme of hands in this game. You see it with the sync strikes, right?
Join me. We'll show them. Take that. Meet your end.
Whenever there's a sync strike, they do a little clap. It's absolutely fantastic. Like, it looks so cool, and the sound that they use for the clap too is fantastic, right?
Now, Zelda, ready as ever.
They do the little clap. They're standing together. They do the strike at the same time. You're controlling one and you're controlling the other. It's just great. And you can really see that Hyrule is cooperating here. You know, it really is. It's almost like an older type of Zelda game, you know, in which the whole of Hyrule, alive and well, has to come together against this greater force of evil. And yeah, it was just brilliant. You can really see that theme there. It is alive and it is well. And the other thing I want to speak to is now what Age of Calamity could have been, because I feel like this game has set such a precedent and such a what if scenario for Age of Calamity. Because let's be honest here, man, I don't know anybody who is happy with Age of Calamity's ending. I certainly wasn't. Everyone that I know, seen on social media, was not. Nobody really wanted this alternate ending where we don't get to see the truly intimate events that we played through in Breath of the Wild and that were truly obscured from us. Age of Calamity was supposed to be the game in which the people call it lackluster way that Breath of the Wild story was told, and I guess you can call it that. However, don't let that be confused with Breath of the Wild story being lackluster, because it definitely is not, and I'll be making a video on why Breath of the Wild has the best story in the entirety of the Zelda series soon. But I digress. Age of Calamity was supposed to tell that story. It was supposed to be a playthrough of the memories that we saw in Breath of the Wild, but faithfully, right? That we got to see everything. I remember people making art on Reddit of Link standing in the field surrounded by guardians, and the objective said survive. It just looks so cool, and that's what we all went into this game believing was gonna happen. But then we had the whole thing with Terraco, and at the very moment the Calamity breaks out, there's just this random time travel, and it's almost like this fan fiction type thing happens, and you got the new champions coming back to run around with the old champions and save the day, and just coming out of nowhere, and it just did not work thematically, story wise. It wasn't cool. Nobody really liked it. We all wanted to see intimately how Hyrule fell. We really did want to see that, and it's clear that the Nintendo team, they saw this, they heard our cries, and so when they made Age of Imprisonment, they rectified that and made sure it ended in the way that it was told in Tears of the Kingdom, but of course more fleshed out with more story beats, a little bit more lore and whatnot, and that is absolutely great. And it makes you think, what could Age of Calamity really have been if we really did get to see Hyrule's fall? You know, if we had that continuous story that we fought and fell in that field in the arms of Zelda, and then you take Zelda, walk over to Ganondorf at Hyrule Castle, get swallowed up, but you're holding back the Calamity. That would have been so great. Just how it was great here when we had that final battle against Ganondorf and the Forbidden Construct at the same time. Oh, it was so good. That was so amazing to watch. And you can play Age of Imprisonment and then go and play Tears of the Kingdom, and it makes Tears of the Kingdom feel so much more fleshed out. And yeah, it's really fantastic. Alright, and I'm in post recording right now, right? And there's something I've forgotten to speak on, because there was so much that this game did right. But the part I forgot to speak on was this game's OST. Oh my word, it's so good. It's so good. It's better than Age of Calamities. I definitely think that. And Age of Calamities was not bad, but this is great. I mean, I'm listening to the Lanayru Wetlands part right now. Why are they going so hard? Like, who told them to do this? This is good, bro. Bro, I will be sitting on the bus, you know, getting about, doing whatever I'm doing. I'll be banging that. I'll be playing that. I mean, bro, let me just take a step back. Just listen to this, yeah? Now, you tell me why they're going so hard. This is heat, bro. This is good. So, gosh, Guys, man, this game's a 10 out of 10, bro. Let me just say it how it is. This game's a 10 out of 10. Let's stop lying. Let's stop, telling fibs, not telling the truth. This game is a banger. This game will be remembered for many years to come, and that's what this game deserves. So honestly, guys, I have to jump back in here again because I've just heard this song called what's it? Great Hyrule Forest. Mate, just listen to this. Just listen, man. Man, shout out to the devs, shout out to the writing team, shout out to Koume Kotake. Man, you guys did a just amazing job. Thank you, man. Now, I will get into the parts that I feel like could have been improved upon within the story of this game. And the first one will pertain to Ardi again. Now, I think the premise of having Ardi, a character who rebels against Ganondorf, a Gerudo soldier, I think that was great. I think it was really cool to see Ganondorf stand up to her and say to her, do you really defy me? Is this what you're going to do?
Hyrule Castle? Precisely. And as we distract them with a Molduga swarm, your army will close in and strike from the north. But why? What of those who desire peace? Impudent little.
You would disobey my orders, Ardi.
I'll do no such thing.
And then he turns on her eventually. I think that was great. I loved seeing that. That was really cool. But my only issue is that it didn't last long enough. We didn't really get to see much of an intimate, detail, analysis, or just showing of Ardi's time being a Gerudo soldier, speaking with Ganondorf, seeing the evil and wickedness that he wants to conduct. It was over really quick. It was over way before it even had a chance to mature and ripe. And of course, I wouldn't want to spend half the game on Ganondorf's side running around because there's a lot more to speak on within the story, obviously. But I feel like that was just a little bit of a missed opportunity to spend a little bit more time with Ganondorf. Maybe do one battle against some Hylian soldiers or something as Ardi. I think that would have been really cool. And my second gripe will definitely be about Koume and Kotake. And I saw people complaining about this online, and I have to reluctantly agree. They were not really even shown. I don't even think their names were mentioned at all in this game. And I, like many others, felt certain that they were going to be in this game, maybe even high profile figures, but that just did not end up happening. They were there with their masks on, and then they were gone. Not really much more to it. But it's not the end of the world. But it is something I feel like could have been expanded upon a little bit more. If anything, the Forbidden Construct took the place of what Koume and Kotake probably would have held. So, yeah. And another gripe that I do have that I saw a couple people speaking on was about the lore for the depths. Now, I do believe that at the start of the game, we have Minaru who says that the depths was something that their own ancient ancestors were surveying, you know, living in, doing the operations upon. It was the ancestors of the Zonai, not necessarily the modern Zonai such as Minaru and Raru. They really never had anything to do with the depths at all. It was just as much a mystery to them as it was to the current Hylians. But man, the depths was just such a cool idea ever since, you know, we first saw it in Tears of the Kingdom. And the fact that we really don't know much more about it at all than we did back in May of 2023, it kind of saddens me. You know, we don't really know anything about the depths at all. Not much of anything, you know. And there was a lot of lore possibility there, both for Tears of the Kingdom and again now in Age of Imprisonment, but I guess we'll never really get to know anything about it. Nothing about how the ancient Zonai, you know, built it, or just any stories that go alongside with it. We'll never really get to know. That does kind of sadden me. Now, something that I do find interesting is about the character development of Calamo. I truly 100% believe he was supposed to be the Great Deku Tree. Absolutely. He was supposed to be the Great Deku Tree. There's no doubt in my mind whatsoever. There's a reason that we don't see the Great Deku Tree throughout this game. He doesn't exist. It's because that was supposed to be Calamo. He was supposed to become that. But I'm pretty certain that the writers, they probably didn't want to mess with the lore too much. They didn't want to, you know, irritate anybody, get on the bad side of someone. You know, I'm sure that they've seen what people are saying about Skyward Sword and Tears of the Kingdom, and how they just hate how Tears of the Kingdom is supposedly just undoing a lot of the lore of the whole series with the Zonai inclusion and whatnot. Although it is still up for debate as to where Tears of the Kingdom lies in the timeline, of course. But I get the feeling that they wanted to create that scenario in which Calamo was once a little Korok who now became the Great Deku Tree, but they pulled out last minute and instead made him the ancient tree stump. So yeah, it's pretty funny that. But yeah, Age of Imprisonment, man, like, wow. The Forbidden Construct versus the Mystery Construct was so great. Like, that is one of the best looking battles, you know, final battles I've ever seen in a video game. That was just fantastic. Beautiful. The Master Sword sacrificing itself for the greater good, beautiful. You know, they really outdid themselves with that. And the way that the Mystery Construct flew around, that was so amazing too, you know, both the Mystery Construct and the Forbidden Construct. And it makes me think, man, like, I wish we had something like that in Tears of the Kingdom. Just watching this game made me think over and over and over again, like, what Tears of the Kingdom could have been. Imagine if we had like some sort of jetpack or something like the Mystery Construct had. Imagine if Link got fused with some sort of Zonai materials and became more robotic or something. Gosh, just what Tears of the Kingdom could have been, man. This game really made me think. I really think that they should have gone back in time with that game. And yeah, I love Ganondorf in this game as well. Ganondorf was great. As per usual, Matt Mercer, you know, doing his thing, you know, going from Levi to Ganondorf, you know, love to see it. And yeah, he was the same old arrogant, cocky Gerudo man that we all know. A lot of people are calling out for more development from him, but I don't think that's necessary. Ganondorf is the embodiment of evil. It is what it is, you know. If you want a new Wind Waker Ganondorf, man, wait for the next game. But I feel like this version of Ganondorf just being the embodiment of evil is fine. I think it is fine, especially how he used to control the Calamity over the 10,000 years, you know. I don't think there's much dialogue to be had when he's been doing that for that long. This has been the longest reigning Ganondorf, I think, ever in series history, so yeah. And yeah, Age of Imprisonment just really outdid themselves, man. I know I didn't play the game, but watching the gameplay, watching the sync strikes, watching the skill trees, it looks like they just really outdid themselves. Like, They really did well out here. So yeah, that's been my take on Age of Imprisonment. I'm definitely going to be doing a lot more videos in the future. I'm going to be making a video on how Breath of the Wild has the best story in the entirety of the Zelda series. Yes, better than Twilight Princess. Yes, better than Majora's Mask. Yes, better than Ocarina of Time. Yes, better than whatever else you can come up with. Link's Awakening, A Link to the Past. Anything you can think of, Breath of the Wild has the best story. But it's treated as the worst story, and I'm going to correct that. I'll also be making a video on a breakdown of Tears of the Kingdom as a whole, you know, a review. And I do have a lot of opinions I haven't seen really said anywhere else. So I will be bringing something new to the table. Yeah, I'm just delighted because I'm going to be honest with you guys, man. After Tears of the Kingdom, I really felt hurt, honestly, by the Zelda series. I did not like that game at all. I did not like it at all. And I will, of course, go into it far more when I do make that Tears of the Kingdom review. But to me, it just really, it was a big hit on the Zelda series' what you gonna call it, reputation. You know, really did a hit on it. But with this game and the way how they clearly listen to the complaints about Age of Calamity, it gives me hope, because for the next Zelda game, the next big 3D, big game, I'm pretty sure that they're gonna listen to all the fans about what they've said about Tears of the Kingdom, and they're gonna rectify a lot of things. And I also hope that they go new, take us into a new land, all that good stuff, man. So yeah, man, Zelda's looking bright. The Zelda series is looking very bright. This game might force me out of my own will to have to buy a Switch 2, might have no choice. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it, man. You know, leave your comments down below. I will be replying to every single comment, liking them all. You know, I want to interact. I want to hear what you guys have to say. You know, speaking, let your voice be heard. Let's celebrate the release of Age of Imprisonment, man. And yeah, whether you agree or disagree, man, tell me what you think, bro. Like, don't hold back nothing, bro. If you disagree with me, let me know. If you agree, let me know. Put your voice out there. I'll be responding to comments, man. I'll even be making video replies to some comments and whatnot, probably on a TikTok channel that I'll make. And yeah, I'm delighted, man. I'm very happy about this game. So yeah, this has been the Indie Tales. I hope you guys have a blessed day. God bless and peace. Praise Jesus, man.